Microsoft Teams for beginners. Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how you can get started with Microsoft Teams. Now, Microsoft Teams is a great tool to use, whether you are a team that is trying to do a certain task, or if you are a business, or if you're an educational institute. All of these use cases can be significantly helped with the help of Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams allows you to not only have video conferencing, but you can build your own individual teams, organize tasks, plan them, and so much more. Now, Microsoft Teams is included in Microsoft 365, whether you are on the business plan or the family plan, and you can utilize Teams to its fullest extent in the business plan. If you take a look over here, you will see that for the Microsoft business plans, you have Copilot and Business, and then the basic business plans, which include Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint, and Exchange. And the basic plan starts at $6 per user per month. And this is on annual billing. So if you go for billing monthly, then you will have to pay a slightly higher price of $7.20, which is still a significantly low price for such an amazing tool. So let's log on to our 365 account. Let's just proceed on to Microsoft Teams, which is going to be the major part of our video today. Now, some people think that Microsoft Teams is only a tool that is meant for teams, or it's only a tool that's meant for video calling within a team. However, Microsoft Teams offers many other features, and you can go into the product section and you can take a look at the Teams homepage over here, and you will be able to see all the different features that Teams has. So you guys can see that you can meet, call, collaborate, and chat all directly from Teams. You have Teams Essentials, Teams Phones, Teams Room, Teams Premium, and your 365 Premium packages involved that are going to also include Microsoft Teams. So we're going to proceed and we're going to click on Sign In, and we're just going to wait for our Sign In tab. And this is what the Microsoft Teams app is going to look like. Now, the Microsoft Teams app is very easy to navigate. You can easily use this simply by going into your Teams app. And if you are using 365, you can click on the top left and then navigate into the Teams application. Now, once you're in the Teams application, the next step is going to be to organize your teams. Obviously, for different types of accounts, you're going to have different teams. So if you subscribe as a business, and you guys can see this under pricing here, if you set up your business and you set up all the individuals that are linked to your business or to your organization, then they can automatically be a part of your team, and only people that are included in the institution or the business can be added in Teams. So if you are on a business plan, you would have those people included. Now, to get started with the Teams application and building individual teams, you can simply go into the Teams section on the left. Now, in this, you can see all teams. These are all the different teams that I have created, and we can add or remove teams as we are progressing within our business. So let's say this is no longer relevant because this is a team that was created for a project last year. I can click on this and then click on team, and then I'm going to ensure that I know that there is not going to be any remaining data, and we're just going to click on delete team over here. Now, just like that, we have this, so we can click on join or create team on the top right, and we have two options. We can either join a team by a team code, or any type of open team that is relevant to our institution or business is going to be shown over here. So you guys can see there are two types of teams that are added over here, which I am not a part of, but I can join because they are a part of my institution. However, I want to build my own. So I'm going to go back into all teams, and we're going to click on create team. Once I click on create team, I have three options. I can begin with a template, or I can go with another team to use it as a template, or I can form a team on the basis of a group. Now, I want to build this from a template, so I'm just going to go with the basic team template, and I'm going to use this template. Once you do that, you have two basic privacy options. You can either make your team private or public. If a team is public, anyone in your business or your organization anyone can join in the team. However, if a team is private, people will require permission to join. Now, let's say I want this team to be Project XX, okay? And I can add a description about this. After that, I'm just going to click on create. We can customize the channels, but I just like to do this later on instead of doing it directly over here. So we're going to have to wait a couple of seconds. Now, once we've done that, you guys can see it's going to ask us who are the members. So who are the people that you're looking to add? You can add people from your institution just by searching for their names over here, or you can even type in email addresses. I'm going to skip this part for now, and we're going to directly navigate onto our first team. Now, this is what your team dashboard is going to look like. You're going to click on your top right and you can see all new posts you can find in your channel. You have channel notifications and channel settings. If you click on the team icon on the top left, you can click on settings and you can manage the general settings. You can choose who can post, if anyone can post or only owners can post, and you can manage the connectors that post to this channel. Now I'm going to click on manage team, and we have all the channels that are added or included within this team. I can click on add, and let's say I want a separate channel for finance approvals, and I'm going to choose the channel type to be private. Now, when you choose privacy settings within a channel of a team, that is very specific, which means that if I make this channel private, it means that people that have been added into the team will not have access. Only the specific people on the team that have been given access to this exclusive channel will be able to access this. So this ensures that if you have hierarchies that have been built up, or if you have sensitive data or information that you do not want your entire team, your entire workspace to have access to, you can ensure that it remains private. Then you can choose to make it a standard channel in which everyone on your team has access. The third option is a shared channel, which allows people or teams outside of your organization to also have access to that particular channel. So I am going to make this a private one, and I'm just going to click on create. Once I click on create, my new channel is being added. I'm going to skip the adding people section, and we're going to navigate back into our general channel management. So we will see our owners and the members and guests that have been added to that particular channel. Then we have our general settings, analytics, and then tags. Now I'm going to go into our team settings. Within that, we can view our team members, and we can add members as we go. We can view any pending requests. So if anyone has asked to join our team, then we have settings. So we can see we have project information, team name, and then the picture. This is really important. I usually like to update this with an accurate picture for our business. So whatever is relevant, I usually like to add that. I'm just going to add this for now. And you usually want something that's representative of the particular team project or the team goal that you're trying to accomplish. Below that, you can set up your general member permissions. So if you want to enable channel creation, adding apps, and more, I do not want members to be able to edit or delete their messages. I don't want them to edit tags, remove connectors. I don't want members to create, update, or remove tabs. I don't want them to upload customized apps or remove any app, delete them, or to create private channels. And so like this, we can see I have removed all the extra permissions that I don't want access to for my members. Now below that, we have mentions, so we can choose who can use team, channel, and group mentions. So this allows people to send a notification to everyone on the team or to a specific person on the team, or you can even notify a specific channel as well. Then you have your team code, and you can share this code so people can join your team directly and you won't get any joining requests. Guests would not be able to join without a team code. Below that, you have fun stuff, which includes memes, GIFs, or stickers. Depending on how serious your business takes itself, you can enable GIFs, stickers, and memes. I do not want memes to be added. I don't want GIFs to be added simply because I think they can be very distracting, but I do allow stickers and memes. Below that, we have tags. So you can click on tags and you can choose tags to be automatically applied. You can turn off shifts or you can turn them on. Now, once you have set up your basic settings, you can navigate into analytics, which will show you your general team summary, engagement, active users, meetings, and more data. Then you have any apps that you want to include. So let's say that I want a form. I can click on forms and I can open up this particular app and I can use this across my team as well. Then after that, we also have tags. So from here, we can manage our tags as well. I can click on create tag, and within this, let's say within project XXX, we have development A1, dev A, and we can enter the name of a member. We're just going to add ourselves, and we can add dev B so the other person can be tagged as well. And we can assign different tags. So let's say we have an entire finance team, a finance group within our team. So we can create a tag labeled finance, and whenever something is related to their department, we can tag it under that particular meeting or that task. Now, this is just the basic team creation section. Once you've created a team and you've built the appropriate channels, you will have different posts. So you can start posting. So hi, welcome, like this, whatever you want. You can get the conversation started. And whenever you're posting, you have all your basic formatting options like italic, bold, strike through, underlined, and all other formatting options. You have emoticons as well as attachment files that you can include. You can also link to your Viva Learning, approvals, praise, stream, dynamics, and creately. Once you do that, you can type in your message and get your conversation within your posts like this. And then you can go into files to basically see a folder that is going to contain all the files can be found under here, except for files that are private. So this channel is called General, and the files that are uploaded within the posts of General will be found under Files. However, in Finance Approvals, because this is a private channel, people are not going to be able to view any posts or files from here in any other channel. So the privacy and integrity of your business does stay intact completely. And this is what is so amazing about Microsoft 365 and using Teams, is that it has so many levels and so much detail curated into each and everything. So you can see all the teams that you are a part of as well as the teams that you own. Then you have pending invites and analytics. And below that, I personally have an assignment section because this is an institutional access team. So I do have past due, completed, and then forthcoming. Below that, you will have a call log. So this is your personal call log. You can type in a name. You can choose to forward, or you can choose your own customized setup as well. You can view your history of any missed, incoming, outgoing, or voicemail. You can see on the right, you have the ability to add people on speed dial. Adding people on speed dial can make it really easy for you to contact any essential part of your business. If you have anyone that you are frequently going to contact, you do want them on speed dial over here. Then below that, you have OneDrive. So as you are working in Teams, obviously you're going to want to have access to all of your files, whether it is a presentation, a scheduled notebook, a document, or a Excel sheet. You can access everything within your team. Simply go into OneDrive and you can see you have quick access for different teams as well, so files that are related to those teams. Then you have your general home section, which shows you all of your files. Then you have your My Files section, and then a shared section, so anything that has been shared with you. Then your favorites and your recyclement. You can click on create and upload, and you can upload folders, files, or complete folders. And you have all different options, including videos, drawings, surveys, OneDrive notebooks, PowerPoint presentations, Excel workbooks, and Word documents. Below that, you're going to find your calendar. So if you're looking to schedule meetings, you can click on New Meeting and schedule them. With Teams, you have the ability to host an interactive webinar, town hall, class, lecture, live event, or just a general meeting. You can start a meeting right now by clicking on Meet Now, and you can get started with your team meetings. Or if you want, you also have the ability to schedule your meetings. So let's say I want this to navigate to the next week and I want to build a new meeting, and I can add the title. I can show myself as busy during the time of this meeting. Let's say this is going to be in my orange category, the time zone, the response options. If people can bypass the lobby, people in my organization and guests, let's say I want everyone to be able to bypass the lobby, which basically means that everyone can directly join the meeting. So I can enable that as well if I want to. And then moving forward, we have other options as well. So we can go on ahead and go into more options, and we have different roles we can assign for each individual meeting, including participant roles and co-organizers, production tools. We can choose if we want attendance reports, reactions, recording, and transcription of our meeting. So we have all these amazing features which you would individually be paying hundreds of dollars for, all included in Teams. Now, next up, we can also see that Teams also does have your basic meeting, but you can also put meetings in a recurring event. So if you have meetings that are going to happen at an interval over and over again, which means they are a recurring meeting, whether it's daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or any other option. Let's say you have a general team update after every 3 days. You can go into custom. You can set the repetition time as 3 days. It occurs every 3 days, and you can select the end date. So until the 31st of May, we're going to have this meeting every 3 days. And we can set up our own customized setup for our meetings using Teams. Now we can add a channel where this meeting is happening, as well as the location, if there is one, or if it's only an online meeting. Then we can add a description, and you can upload your agenda over here as well. This includes any follow-up tasks, meeting notes, and just the general things that are going to be related. Now, below our calendar, we can see our planner, which can be really amazing, especially in management of personal tasks. So personal task management has been made really easy with Microsoft 365 because you no longer have to go through, large lists of tasks of other people. You can directly go into the My Tasks section and see all the tasks assigned to you. And you can directly go into your My Day section and see all the things you need to complete within the day. You can schedule out your day just like that, and you can drop things into your to-do list. Below that, you have your Copilot, which is basically Microsoft's AI. And below that, you will have any other application that you want to include. So if you want to add a whiteboard, educational class notebooks, OneNote, Word, Excel, if you want any other Microsoft app to be integrated or any third-party app, you can easily search for it in the app gallery. And that is how you can get started with Microsoft 365. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or queries, make sure to leave those in the comments down below. I would love to know what you guys have to say.